We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to participate in Sikkim's 50th year of statehood celebrations and inaugurate multiple development projects worth over 4,000 crore rupees. Prime Minister Modi also to visit Uttar Pradesh later in the day. Healthcare infra projects worth thousands of crores to be unveiled in the holy city of Varanasi. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to attend SCO ministerial meet in Kyrgyzstan to discuss India's commitment towards global peace amidst security challenges prevailing in the world. Trump discusses new Tehran proposal with national security aides while Putin meets Iran's foreign minister. Oil prices climb about 3% to a two-week high. White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect charged with attempting to assassinate Trump could face life in prison if convicted. And on to the details now. Prime Minister Modi is on a two-day visit to Sikkim state in northeastern India. On Monday, Prime Minister held a roadshow in Gangtok. On Tuesday, he will participate in the closing ceremony of Sikkim's 50th year of statehood celebrations in Gangtok, where he will unveil developmental projects. These projects span a wide range of sectors, including infrastructure, connectivity, healthcare, education, power, urban development, environment, tourism, and agriculture.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Orchidarium in Gangtok. To showcase the ecological and floral heritage of the state, Swarna Jayanti Maitri Manjari Park has been developed as a state-of-the-art, world-class orchid experience center. Thereafter, Prime Minister will participate in the closing ceremony of Sikkim's 50th year of statehood celebrations at Paljor Stadium. There, he will inaugurate, launch and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects worth over 4,000 crore rupees. These projects span a wide range of sectors, including infrastructure, connectivity, healthcare, education, power, urban development, environment, tourism, and agriculture. Key projects which will be inaugurated are inauguration of permanent campus of Sikkim University at Yangang, administrative block of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose University of Excellence at Chakung, Helen Lepcha Medical College at Sochegang in Gangtok, inauguration of a 30-bedded integrated Sowa Rigpa hospital at NIT Deorali, Sikkim IFCO processing plant, launch of implementation of IT-enabled educational infrastructure projects across 160 schools, widening and strengthening of the road from Birdhang to Namchi via Kichu Dumra, Jan Seva Sachivalya Mini Secretariat at Lumse, redevelopment of bridge precinct in Gangtok, ecotourism and pilgrimage infrastructure at Doordarshan in Soreng, and infrastructure related to the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra.
हम लोग ना सिक्किम का सारा लड़की लोग बहुत खुश है। वो जो एसएचजी महिला लोग है वो सब लोग मोदी साहब को एकदम धन्यवाद कहना चाहते हैं, जितना भी वो इधर डेवलपमेंट दे रहे हैं।
यहाँ पर जो भी सेंट्रल में लागू होगा वो भी यहाँ पर सुविधा डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट यहाँ पर पहुँच के यहाँ पर पब्लिक को एकदम बहुत बुनियादी सुविधा हुआ है।
स्कीम्स जैसे पीएमईजीपी जैसे बहुत सारे सेंट्रल स्कीम्स है, रैम स्कीम्स, उसके तरफ से हम लोग बहुत आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
जब से मोदी जी आए उन्होंने अष्टलक्ष्मी जो 8 राज्यों को जो विशेष ध्यान दिया, इसके कारण से प्रगति है।
To give a boost to Sikkim's connectivity, tourism, healthcare and social development, Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of several projects. They include foundation stone for a 100-bedded Ayurveda hospital at Yangang in Namchi district, 2-hinge double-lane steel arch bridges over River Tista at Sirwani and Lower Samdong, Sambhav Mandap, public utility center at MG Marg in Gangtok, sewerage system rehabilitation at Singtam town under river pollution abatement initiatives, an eco-pilgrimage complex at Silnon in Gyalshing district. Prime Minister's visit reflects government's continued commitment to the rapid and sustainable development of the state as well as the northeastern region. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, after concluding his visit to northeastern Indian state of Sikkim, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to make a 2-day visit to Uttar Pradesh on Tuesday. In the upcoming visit to his parliament constituency, Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of various development projects worth around 6,350 crore rupees in Varanasi on Tuesday. The Prime Minister will dedicate over 48 completed projects to the nation as well. These projects span multiple sectors including rail, road, water, healthcare, tourism and urban infrastructure. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of over 112 projects worth around 5,300 crore rupees. He will also flag off 2 new Amrit Bharat Express trains, Banaras-Pune and Ayodhya-Mumbai. These train services will facilitate easier access to Kashi Vishwanath Dham and improve connectivity to the Sri Ram Mandir Tirth Kshetra, strengthening links between key religious destinations. Also, during his 2-day visit, the Prime Minister will inaugurate the Ganga Expressway, marking a significant milestone in the development of world-class infrastructure in the country. The expressway traverses 12 districts connecting western, central and eastern regions of Uttar Pradesh through a single seamless high-speed corridor. A key highlight of the project is the provision of a 3.5 kilometers long emergency landing facility in Shahjahanpur district as well. This dual-use infrastructure enhances national security preparedness and adds strategic value beyond economic benefits. And for more on this, we are joined by Deepika Mehato from Varanasi. Well, good morning, Deepika. A massive development push by Prime Minister Modi and large number of projects being launched and inaugurated today. Tell us what all is planned for the day and which sectors or initiatives are expected to have the most immediate impact on people in Varanasi and across Uttar Pradesh.
Good morning, Lipakshi. So, Varanasi, this is the Lok Sabha constituency of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is not only politically connected to this holy city, but as this holy city is the home of river Ganga, he always says that he considers Ganga his mother, and he always calls that whenever he comes to Varanasi, it feels like Ma Ganga has called him to Varanasi, back home. So, when we talk about the development of Varanasi, it has been the focus of Prime Minister Narendra Modi since he became the Prime Minister. The development has been a wave here, not only in the recent times, but since the time Prime Minister Narendra Modi took the chair of the Prime Minister. Not only the Ghats have been redeveloped here in a major push that has caused a lot of benefit, that has given a lot of benefit to all the localites here, and especially women. But now in another phase of development, rather in yet another phase of development, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to make a 2-day visit to Uttar Pradesh, including Varanasi and Hardoi, and his first leg being Varanasi, a 360-degree development approach is being followed. This not only focuses highways, roadways and other bridges, but also rural development areas are being focused here, with a special focus on Jal Jeevan Mission scheme, with a special focus on how rural women and men can be benefited, on how localites can be benefited, on and how small vendors can also be benefited. We've seen it previously during the time of election also, in the general election during 2024, that everybody was very, very happy with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's work and the kind of development, the wave of development the people of Varanasi has witnessed here, because we reported from the ground, we had a word with a lot of people, and yesterday also, since the time we've landed here in Varanasi, we've been talking to the localites and including women also. We've been really happy, really satisfied with the kind of work, and today the key highlight is not only the wave of development, the gift of development that the people of Varanasi are going to get, but it is also about Mahila Sammelan. So there will be a Mahila Sammelan which will be addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. He will be meeting and greeting all the women of Varanasi, and we had a word with many of the women also, and they said that they are very happy. They are looking forward to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the son of Varanasi, and they are very happy and want to thank Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the kind of development push they have given, not only to the entire economy of Varanasi, but to the women as well at the grassroots level, Lepakshi.
All right, so a 360-degree development push there. Also, Deepika, the Ganga Expressway includes a 3.5 kilometers emergency landing facility. Can you tell us on how this dual-use feature strengthens both infrastructural development there and the national security?
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, wherever he goes, he always ensures that he gives the gift of infrastructural related projects. Now, at this visit, 48 already ready projects are being inaugurated and announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi today. Today, when we talk about the emergency landing service, or about the multiple bedded hospital, or about the railways, or about the bridges, about the Amrit Bharat train expresses, what it is going to do, it is not only going to boost the connectivity of UP with other states and with other areas, but it is also going to lessen the burden on the road. So the burden is divided. Railways are better made, highways are better made, other transport system are better made, accessibility increases, cost decreases, and people get employment benefits also here. So when we talk about the different benefits and the different opportunities that you just talked about, picking out one of them, which is the emergency landing system, that is just one area which is going to benefit it. But when we talk about the entire 360-degree area of development that Varanasi is going to get today, from today onwards, it's going to be another wave of development which will not only lessen the burden on the people, but also will give them in return a lot, not only in economic terms, but also in terms of ease of access as well, Lepakshi.
All right, so a lot to look forward to for Varanasi today. Thank you so much, Deepika, for all that update. And Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will participate in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Defence Ministers meeting in Kyrgyzstan's Bishkek today. He will highlight India's commitment towards global peace amidst the security challenges prevailing in the world. Apart from conveying India's consistent stance on zero tolerance for terrorism and extremism, the Defence Minister will also hold bilateral talks with his counterparts of other SCO member states to further strengthen defence ties. He will also interact with the Indian community in Bishkek. And still to come on DD India News Hour. 6 tankers with Iranian oil have been forced back to Iran by the US blockade in recent days. We'll explain the impact of the war on traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Nuclear non-proliferation treaties eroding, UN chief warns at start of the summit. And Britain's King Charles arrives in US for state visit, meets President Donald Trump.
Geopolitics and trade deals.
Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Quran, and moving on, US President Donald Trump discussed a new Iranian proposal on resolving the war with Tehran with his top national security aides on Monday as the conflict remains in a stalemate with energy supplies from the region reduced. Now, the answering questions at a briefing, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt did not offer an opinion of the proposal in which the Strait of Hormuz would be opened and Iran's nuclear program discussed at a later date. But she said Trump's bottom line demands remain the same.
Because it's been reported, I will confirm the president has met with his national security team this morning. The meeting may be ongoing, maybe not. I don't want to speak affirmatively because I was prepping to come out here. But the proposal was being discussed. I don't want to get ahead of the president or his national security team. What I will reiterate is that the president's red lines with respect to Iran have been made very, very clear, not just to the American public, but also to them as well.
Well, 6 tankers loaded with Iranian oil have been forced back to Iran by the U.S. blockade in recent days, underscoring the impact the Iran war is having on traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Between 125 and 140 ships usually crossed in and out of the strait daily before the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran began on February 28th, but only 7 have done so in the past day. They included the Iranian-flagged dry bulk vessel Bawand, which left from an Iranian port, and other vessels leaving from Iraqi ports. The U.S. military has not provided a complete breakdown of the type of ships it has diverted or the precise location opens new tab of the interceptions. And amid ongoing peace talks and reduced transport flow through the Strait of Hormuz, the United States and Iran clashed at the United Nations on Monday over Tehran's nuclear program and its selection to be one of dozens of vice presidents at a months-long conference to review the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. The 11th conference to review implementation of the NPT, which came into force in 1970, began on Monday at the United Nations in New York. Different groups nominated 34 conference vice presidents, and the conference chair, Vietnam's UN ambassador Do Hang Viet, said Iran was picked by the group of non-aligned and the other states. The United Nations chief, Antonio Guterres, led a chorus of diplomats urging a fuller opening of the vital waterway.
I urge member states to support the emergency evacuation framework prepared by the International Maritime Organization. A coordinated plan to ensure the safe movement, assistance and protection of effective crews in full accordance with international law. Mr. President, the Charter's prohibition of the threat or use of force applies fully at sea. Navigational rights and freedoms through the Strait of Hormuz must be respected, as affirmed by this Council's Resolution 2817. These principles must be upheld in full and without delay. I appeal to the parties: open the strait, let ships pass, no tolls, no discrimination, let trade resume, let the global economy breathe.
Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg after visiting Islamabad twice in 2 days, a meeting in Muscat, Oman. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Presidential aide Yuri Ushakov, and Igor Kostyukov, head of the main intelligence directorate of the General Staff of the Russian Armed Forces, also attended the meeting. Representatives on the Iranian side included Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi and Iranian Ambassador to Russia Kazem Jalali. During the meeting, Putin said Moscow intends to continue developing strategic relations with Iran, is willing to make efforts to help secure peace in the West Asia at an early date, and hopes that the Iranian people will pass through the current period of trials. Arakchi said relations between Russia and Iran would continue to strengthen and thanked Putin for Moscow's support. He said that the strategic partnership between Iran and Russia will be strengthened and that the Iranian people with their courage are capable of resisting American aggression. And for more, we have DD India's Akhilesh Suman joining us. Well, Akhilesh, good morning. The proposed reopening of the Strait of Hormuz now before addressing Iran's nuclear program appears to diverge from Washington's stated priorities earlier. And simultaneously, it's being said Trump's bottom line demands remains the same. How might this overall affect the scenario?
Lipakshi, actually yesterday, if you go through the proceedings of United Nations Security Council meeting, United Nations Security Council meeting took a very stern, position on this, the Strait of Hormuz. And French foreign minister, France is normally it is very, cool and calm about Iran.
Right.
But French foreign minister in Security Council meeting said that Iran has to make a major concession. So in that way, you can understand that the whole world opinion is going against Iran because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Though the French foreign minister said that, the attack was wrong by, American and Israeli forces over Iran. But he also said that the way Iran is doing with the Strait of Hormuz, it is not justified. And in that way, the French foreign minister also said that it should be opened as soon as possible. So you can understand that they are talking, the Western and now Americans are talking to each other in the same tone, that a Strait of Hormuz should be open.
Right.
The French foreign minister also said about Iran has to think about its, processed nuclear material. So in that way, there is a convergence now coming between West and America. The American representative in the United Nations Security Council, he also said that, it is like a plunder in the sea, that you are stopping the Strait of Hormuz. And he also said that, processed material must be, taken away from Iran. Even though Iran representative was telling that Iran had the right on Strait of Hormuz because USA and Iran both did not have ratified, unclosed the law of seas. So in that way, they are telling that they have a right to regulate the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian speaker also has said like that. But in between, Lipakshi, if you go through the whole situation now, Abbas Arakchi is talking to each other, to everyone in the region also. He talked to Saudi, he talked to Omanis, he talked to other regional leaders on whom Iranians were bombing earlier. He went to Moscow and he went to St. Petersburg and talked to President Putin. But so the whole situation is quite in a flux because Iranians are not committing anything on the nuclear material, even though they are telling that they are open to opening the Strait of Hormuz if they are giving the guarantee of there is no attack over Iran again. So they have tried to take the whole situation on a Strait of Hormuz, not on processed nuclear material. So that is why USA is quite disappointed. They are telling that the proposal that has been sent by Iranians through Pakistani mediators is not right, is not good. And bottom line of USA is that Iran should get rid of its processed nuclear material. So a stalemate is continuing, Lipakshi, and there is no possible solution looking in the arena. The mediators are feeling helpless because Iranians have very stern position, Americans have very stern position, and the whole world is getting trapped in this fight between USA and Iranians. The whole energy cycle is getting disturbed of the whole world. Logistical cycle is getting disturbed on the whole world. Stock markets are coming down. So I think UN might be facilitating somehow, as we heard that United Nations Security Council Secretary General was speaking about Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz immediately. The General Assembly President, even General Assembly President is in Delhi today, and she will have a whole press conference today, and maybe she will tell something about UN initiative on the question of Strait of Hormuz and other issues in the region. So we have to see and assess that what Iranians are going to do, because the ball is in the court of Iranians. US bottom line remains the same. Iranians have just a checkmate of a Strait of Hormuz.
All right, so the whole world is definitely into a trap right now, and we have to see what happens next. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for all that update. And moving on, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres at the NPT Review Conference on Tuesday warned that the treaty is eroding due to unfulfilled commitments and a lack of trust and credibility.
The global goal of eliminating nuclear weapons stretches back to the UN General Assembly's very first resolution in 1946. But sadly, people's memories are short. Today, a state of collective amnesia has taken hold. Nuclear sabers rattle once more. Mistrust rules the day. Hard-won norms are eroding, and arms control is dying. For too long, the treaty has been eroding. Commitments remain unfulfilled, and trust and credibility are wearing thin.
Well, the UN chief also emphasized the need to breathe life into the treaty once more to address the growing nuclear threat and the accelerating drivers of proliferation.
Le désarmement n'est pas la récompense de la paix, c'est le fondement de la paix. Alors, avant qu'il ne soit trop tard, brisons notre amnésie collective à l'égard des armes nucléaires. Renouvelons notre foi en ce que nous pouvons accomplir lorsque nous faisons front commun. Agissons sans tarder pour dissiper ce nuage qui plane sur l'humanité, et je vous remercie.
Well, Guterres' warning was echoed by other diplomats as well, highlighting the urgent need for the NPT to adapt to new technologies and geopolitical realities. Now, the stakes are high as the danger of a nuclear war is more tangible than ever, and the world must ensure that humanity never cedes control over nuclear weapons.
This is not just another review conference. The success or failure of this conference will have implications way beyond these halls and way beyond these next 5 years. The prospects of a new nuclear arms race are looming over us, the scale of which we are yet to fathom. The prospects of a world without an effective, functioning NPT regime would in all likelihood be one where regional rivalries increasingly have nuclear dimensions, where the taboo against nuclear use erodes further, and where collective security is diminished by the potential spread of nuclear weapons.
As the only country who have suffered atomic bombing during war, Japan will work together with both nuclear weapons and non-nuclear weapon states and contribute to maintaining and strengthening the NPT regime. Japan has consistently pursued the path of a peace-loving nation since the end of the World War II. Our commitment remains unchanged. Japan is and will continue to be a guardian of the NPT.
And now updates from United States, where a man accused of trying to open fire on a White House media gala this weekend was charged in court on Monday with trying to assassinate U.S. President Donald Trump. Cole Allen faces a sentence of up to life in prison if convicted. Several shots were fired before Allen was subdued in a chaotic encounter near a checkpoint. Allen never got close to Trump or the other guest attending the large-scale dinner event on a lower floor. The California man's attack was the third attempt on 79-year-old Trump's life in 2 years. After the hearing, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche gave details regarding the charges.
Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges in United States District Court against Cole Thomas Allen. The first count is attempted assassination of the President of the United States. This count is punishable by up to life in prison. The second count is interstate transportation of a firearm to commit a felony. This is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And the third count is discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence, which is punishable by a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of 10 years, a maximum of life, and the 10 years is consecutive to any other sentence imposed.
Well, the White House has blamed a left-wing cult of hatred for inciting violence, singling out Democratic politicians who have accused Trump of trying to amass authoritarian powers. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt described the foiled attack as the third major assassination attempt against President Donald Trump. A gun-wielding suspect was stopped by Secret Service guards before he could enter the crowded hotel ballroom where Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance and many other top U.S. officials were gathered for the annual dinner. And moving on, UK's King Charles III and Queen Camilla were received by US President Donald Trump at the White House on Monday, marking the start of the first British state visit to the United States in nearly 2 decades. The visit, timed with the 250th anniversary of the United States, comes at a crucial moment for the special relationship. While the White House meetings reflected warmth and mutual respect between the king and the president, the broader backdrop is shaped by rising geopolitical tensions and tighter security after a recent shooting incident in Washington. The king and queen smiled for the cameras as they sat down for tea with Donald Trump and First Lady Melania at the White House as the historic state visit got underway. One of the major highlights will be King Charles addressing a joint session of the United States Congress on Tuesday, something no British monarch has done since 1991. After Washington, the royal couple will head to New York City for a visit to the 9/11 memorial. The royal couple will also visit Virginia before concluding their 4-day U.S. visit. And still to come in DD India News Hour. Annalena Baerbock visits India, holds talks with Dr. S. Jaishankar on global challenges and multilateral cooperation. Mumbai-Ahmedabad Vande Bharat Express expanded to 20 coaches amid surging demand.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Exactly what to save your.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on, the president of the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Annalena Baerbock, is on a day's visit to India today. She will hold bilateral meetings with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in New Delhi and discuss key multilateral issues of mutual interest. Baerbock will also pay homage to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. She will also have an interactive session with representatives from the Ministry of Electronics and IT on governance and regulation of artificial intelligence. According to the advisory, the focus is on discussing current global issues and challenges for the international order and stress the importance of upholding the UN Charter, strengthening the United Nations and intensifying multilateral cooperation on all 3 pillars of the United Nations. The visit reaffirms India's steadfast engagement with the United Nations. And Indian Railways has permanently increased the capacity of the Mumbai Central Ahmedabad Vande Bharat Express by expanding the train from 16 coaches to 20 coaches, effective for journeys starting on Tuesday. The upgrade adds 4 extra coaches, including 3 AC chair car coaches and 1 executive class coach, providing more seats as one of the country's busiest premium intercity routes. The move follows consistently high passenger demand since the service was introduced. What was initially a temporary capacity enhancement has now been made permanent. Since launch in 2019, the semi-high-speed fleet has carried more than 9.1 crore passengers across 1 lakh trips. Occupancy on several routes has regularly crossed full capacity. And moving on to some weather updates now, the Indian Meteorological Department has issued multiple alerts across the country, warning of thunderstorms, heavy rainfall and heat wave conditions. Now, the Weather Office has issued orange alert for thunderstorms, lightning and hailstorms across parts of northern plains, including Delhi, where gusty winds and sudden weather changes are likely, along with neighbouring regions in North India and parts of the east. Heavy rainfall warnings remain in place for eastern and northeastern regions, including Bihar, Sikkim and the broader northeast belt, with intense showers expected over the next few days. Heatwave conditions continue over western parts such as Rajasthan and Gujarat, while several central and southern regions are expected to witness hot and humid weather along with isolated thunderstorm activity. All right, DD India's Preeti Bhalla joins us for more on the weather from New Delhi. Well, Preeti, with the Indian Meteorological Department issuing an orange alert for thunderstorms and hailstorms, and yesterday evening Delhi also witnessed thunderstorms, what precautions have been advised as of now?
Yes, Vipakshi, after having braved a relentless heat and scorching temperatures for the past few days, which made Delhi feel like and burn like a furnace, Delhi has finally reached the highest release yesterday under the influence of western disturbances which hit northwest India yesterday. Gusty winds, strong winds, dust storms, and also a dip in temperature was witnessed yesterday evening. Earlier, the range of temperature was between 42 to 44 degrees Celsius. That made Delhiites feel the brunt of the sun. But with this change in the weather phenomena, with the influence of western disturbances hitting northwest India, there is expected respite in the temperatures in the national capital. The maximum temperature is somewhat expected to be around 42 degrees Celsius, and if that light or light showers are expected in the national capital, and also thunder showers or lightning is expected. Added to this, the AQI this morning in the national capital is 113, which falls in the poor category. But when we talk of heat wave conditions, then Delhiites are feeling some kind of respite for the since the past, in fact, as compared to the past few days. And also, this phenomenon is expected to last till April 30th, right? From 28th of April till April 30th, this phenomenon is expected to last. When we talk of the precautions, since the past few days had been very difficult for the Delhiites, as we were witnessing, they were braving the heat wave conditions. IMD had put forth precautions and advisories to the Delhiites to remain indoors during peak summer hours, afternoon hours, and to wear loose clothes and to keep themselves hydrated. Added to that, they will also advise to keep fire extinguishers handy at home and in their vehicles. But with the respite witnessed since yesterday evening, the Delhiites can heave a sigh of relief.
All right. Lakshya Sen also joins us from, Lakshya Arya also joins us from Rajasthan. Well, Lakshya, as heat wave conditions persist across Rajasthan, what measures are being taken there to mitigate the health risk and ensure water availability also?
Absolutely, very good morning. So sun is scorching as a major part of Rajasthan. More than 32 cities in Rajasthan are experiencing temperature above 44 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine how the situation right here in the Jaipur, how the situation right here in the western districts of Rajasthan. So parallelly, the health department and medical department is taking precautionary measures and are regularly issuing advisories for the welfare of the citizens. So people are advised to stay inside, to stay hydrated, because the temperature is still scorching, and in coming days there will be no peace in Jaipur as well as major districts in the western Rajasthan. So not only the medical and health department is taking precautionary measures, but also as the district collectors has taken an initiative and lessen the time. The timings were reconsidered of the schools, of the colleges. So for now, the timings for the pre-primary and primary and first to 10th standard has been depreciated. So schools are opening from morning to 12 p.m. In the afternoon. So timings have also been changed. Also the regular advisories regarding the daytime from 1 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon has been issued by the medical and health department. Yesterday, with the western disturbance, there was a bit relief to the people of Rajasthan. There was a gusty winds, the little of drizzles and rain was experienced in some of the districts of Rajasthan, but not very much. You can see the sun is scorching today as well. The temperature is rising, mercury is rising, and the major temperature, the common temperature in the major districts of Rajasthan is tempered and is recorded more than 44 degrees Celsius. So major cities of Rajasthan is recording under 44 degrees Celsius. Parallelly, what's important right here is in the hottest 50 cities of the world, there is more than 12 cities of Rajasthan. So it's an very alarming situation in Rajasthan as well, that in the coming days as well, there will be no peace in the heat.
All right. Also, Vivek Narayanan joins us from Kerala. Well, Vivek, with hot and humid conditions along with chances of isolated thunderstorms forecast for southern regions, how is the current situation there, and how is heat stress and sudden rainfall events being balanced?
Good morning, Lipatri. The situation in Kerala is a bit concerning as far as the weather is concerned. Mainly because this time the state is witnessing unprecedented heat wave, and also the humidity of the entire region, the central Kerala region, has increased to alarming levels. Today in Palakkad and central Kerala, the temperature has touched up to 41 degrees Celsius, which is actually something which does not happen during this season. But what's more concerning is actually the power consumption. The electricity consumption of the state has increased, due to which the state government is now forced to purchase electricity from the neighboring states. And today there is an important meeting as far as the Kerala State Electricity Board is concerned, and in that it will be decided whether power cuts has to be implemented or not. Yesterday the government has decided that around 15 to 30 minutes of load shedding will be introduced in the state to ensure that the electricity consumption and the usage is balanced. But as far as heat wave is concerned, in the coming days, at least in the next 3 to 4 days, the state is expected to witness extreme heat between 38 degrees Celsius and 41 degrees Celsius, which is indeed a huge concern. The government has appealed people, especially those working outside who are exposed to hot sun, not to work between 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And also special classes, tuition classes has been stopped by all the schools and coaching centers, and government has been very proactive as far as this heat is concerned, and regular advisories and guidelines has been issued by the Kerala State Disaster Management as far as increasing heat is concerned. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Preeti, Lakshay and Vivek, for all that update. Well, the rising temperatures across the plains are driving tourists to travel to Mussoorie, also called the Queen of Hills. From cool mountain air to scenic waterfalls, Mussoorie offers a refreshing escape from the intense summer heat. A report.
With the mercury soaring past 40 degrees Celsius across many parts of the country, people are heading to the hills in search of relief. Mussoorie, also known as the Queen of Hills, is witnessing a sharp rise in tourist arrivals, with visitors from across the country flocking to the hill station to escape the heat wave. Tourists say the cool mountain air and pleasant weather offer a welcome break from the sweltering temperatures back home.
It feels wonderful to be in Mussoorie. The weather here is really pleasant. Gujarat is much hotter. The temperature there is usually around 42 degrees Celsius, but the weather here is much more comfortable. We would be drenched in sweat there. Here it is so much better. The weather stays cool and it even feels chilly at night.
Visitors say the drop in temperature, especially at night, has made Mussoorie a perfect summer retreat for families.
I've come from Panipat in Haryana. It is extremely hot there, so it feels wonderful to be here. I've come with my family. In Haryana, the temperature has already reached around 35 degrees Celsius, but it is much cooler here. At night, you don't even need a fan. The temperature drops so much that it actually feels quite cold. Since yesterday, the breeze has been really pleasant. We are still feeling pleasant in the sunlight.
Popular attractions like Bhatta Falls are drawing large crowds, with visitors enjoying the cold water, refreshing breeze and scenic surroundings. Families are seen spending hours at the waterfall, soaking in the natural beauty and escaping the harsh summer sun. With the heat wave expected to persist across the plains, Mussoorie is likely to remain a top summer destination in the coming weeks. For thousands seeking respite from rising temperatures, the Queen of Hills continues to offer a perfect blend of cool weather, natural beauty and memorable experiences.
And India's artillery and tanks were fully mobilized to charge and fire in Operation Sindoor if the need arose. DD India's Nadita Dagar travelled to Gujarat and filed this report on army deployment in the Gujarat desert.
This is the 130mm medium gun of our Indian Army. Before the Bofors gun was inducted into our Army's artillery, this was the mainstay or the workhorse of our Indian Army's artillery. Now, this gun has a range of 27 kilometers, which is very, very high, and the shell lands very, very precisely. It is actually very, very lethal. In Operation Sindoor, all these guns along our western borders with Pakistan, they were all primed, ready to go, locked and loaded.
Attack on innocent tourists that was conducted at Pahalgam by the terrorists was a very brutal attack. In fact, the sheer brutality with which this attack was carried out made all of us furious. Not just us as soldiers, but everybody in the country was absolutely furious about the type and manner in which this attack was carried out. We used this anger to mobilize our resources. All officers, JCOs, NCOs and even the newly inducted Agniveers, we mobilized all our surveillance assets, all our guns, ammunition and reinforcements, and we were prepared for any eventuality. We drew up a plan to protect every military station, every logistic echelon and all population centers. While doing this, we were absolutely aligned to all the orders that we received from our higher headquarters. By 7th of May, we had created an air defense umbrella over all the critical assets of Rajasthan and the run of Kutch and the Creek sectors in Gujarat. All our weapon systems, which included the latest missiles as well as the legacy AD guns, were integrated into one air defense control and command and control network.
This T-72 tank, just like the 130mm artillery guns, was ready, locked and loaded, ready to charge upon the enemy during Operation Sindoor if the need so arises. Operation Sindoor, of course, was a massive success for our armed forces, lethality, precision, and efficacy. But most of all, it will be known for two things: the synergy and integration between our armed forces, the Army, Navy, and the Air Force, also with the civilian agencies, and the success of our indigenous technology in drone warfare and futuristic warfare. With camera person Vicky Rajput in Kutch, Gujarat, this is Nandita Dagar for DD India.
And on to some business news now. Federal Reserve policymakers will gather in Washington from later today in what may be Jerome Powell's last meeting as head of the U.S. Central Bank. A May 15th endpoint for Powell's 8 years at the Fed's helm now appears more likely after a major obstacle to the U.S. Senate's confirmation of his appointed successor, Kevin Warsh, was removed on Friday. As a final act, Powell will likely oversee on Wednesday another vote by the central bank's policy-setting Federal Open Market Committee to hold its benchmark overnight interest rate steady in the 3.50% to 3.75% range, where it has been since December. Meanwhile, the oil prices rose and stock markets moved unevenly on Monday as the prospect of Iran peace talks remained stalled. Both main international oil contracts pushed higher, with Brent crude rising to more than $108 a barrel as the crucial Strait of Hormuz waterway remained largely closed. While stock markets were mixed, with both the S&P 500 and Nasdaq edging higher to finish at an all-time record, but the Dow retreated along with several leading European and Asian indices. Well, you're watching DD India News. Our time now for some sports news. Rajasthan Royals will be on the road to face the high-flying Punjab Kings side in the IPL 2026 in New Chandigarh today. RR will be eyeing a comeback after a tough loss to Hyderabad in their last outing in Jaipur, despite a 36-ball 100 by Vaibhav Suryavanshi. The Royals made a fantastic start to their campaign, winning the first 4 matches on the trot, but have managed 1 victory in their last 4 games. Punjab Kings, on the other hand, head into the contest undefeated, sitting on top of the table with 13 points. PBKs come into this match on a high after pulling off the highest chase in tournament history, overalling 265 against DC with 7 balls left. Well, also defending champions Royal Challengers Bangalore handed the Delhi Capitals a humiliating 9-wicket defeat on their home turf in the Indian Premier League. After winning the toss and opting to bat, RCB pacers Josh Hazelwood and Bhuvneshwar Kumar took 4 and 3 wickets respectively as DC were bundled out for a paltry 75 in 16.54 overs. The Capitals registered the lowest ever power play score in IPL history, 13 for 6, but avoided the threat of the lowest IPL team total. In response, RCB chased down the 76-run target in just 6.3 overs. The win strengthened their position in the top hold of the table, moving them closer to another playoff spot, while Delhi languish in 7th. Well, a young power lifter in North Indian city of Saharanpur is reshaping conventional perceptions of strength and ability. Born with a leg deformity, the athlete has overcome significant challenges and is now striving to represent India on the international stage. Take a look.
In a world where strength is often mistaken for size, a story from Saharanpur challenges that perception. Meet Aman, a young power lifter. A birth defect left him with a short stature and a leg deformity. He did not let that become a barrier. After completing his graduation, he started strength training. In just over a month, Aman is lifting nearly double his body weight.
Basically, earlier I focused only on my studies. I completed my graduation in BCom and then shifted my attention towards banking. I invested 2 to 3 years in that field, but I didn't feel much scope there for myself. After that, I started going to the gym regularly with my brother. He used to send me videos about the Paralympics. He told me that people with the height perform well and have similar strength. He guided me and said I should try this. That's when I decided to start.
From facing ridicule in childhood to now standing at the threshold of competing in international events, Aman's journey is one of resilience in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds.
My main goal is to win a medal for the country, whether it is the Asian Games, Olympics or any other competition. I want to bring a medal for India and show that we are also capable. It is not like people with shorter height cannot achieve anything.
अमनदीप बेचारा रोज ऐसे ही आता था और घूम के चला जाता था.
Earlier, Amandeep used to come daily, just roam around and leave. People used to see him and even laugh at him. But he observed the whole stadium and felt that there was someone he could connect with. Then he started sitting with us and began exercises. We also felt that he has potential. He did certain things that attracted us towards him. And now, he trains a little with us every day.
थोड़ी बहुत ही एक्सरसाइज करता है रोज.
Aman continues to train with a clear goal, representing the country on the international stage.
All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from Alpha Ser in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.